Hello, my name is Barbara Braylock, and I am going to give you an informative speech about death and dying. My title is My Loved One is Dying. Have you ever had to sit back and watch a loved one slowly die? You want to do something, but you know that there's nothing you can do. All these emotions begin to boil up within you, and you're thinking, what can I do? What is happening to my loved ones? I am here to tell you about the 5 stages of grief that each and every one of us goes through. We go through it in different stages. Some of us stays in it for a long time. Some of us goes through it quickly. And some people actually never ends these 5 stages of grief. And it's something that is terminal to them, and eventually it may even kill them. My first stage that I'm about to tell you about is denial. Denial is the first stage that we normally go through. She looks fine, is what someone may say. There's nothing wrong with me. I am not sick. All these are part of the first stage, which is denial. Denial is something that we all have to deal with. It's one of our coping mechanisms. It kicks in and it helps us to keep going. I have told you about denial. My second stage that I'm going to tell you about is the anger stage. The anger stage, we usually say, why me? Why couldn't it be someone else? I don't deserve this. I deserve better. And we begin to set blame in that anger stage. Anger stage, we normally push the family members and families away. We usually are angry at everyone. Sometimes we're angry at the loved one for dying. Sometimes we're angry at ourselves. For whatever reason, we are in that angry phase. And normally this lasts for a short while. We may say, God, this cannot be happening to me. Why are you doing it to me? And for whatever reason that we think that God has done something to us, it makes us angry because it's something happening to us that we have no control over. I've told you about the second stage, which is the anger stage. Now we're going to discuss the third stage of grief, which is bargaining. We begin to bargain with a higher power. Lord, if you let me live, I'll give my life to you. Lord, if you just give me a few more years to do what I need to do, and I will serve you. We begin to bargain with the higher power, but usually the bargains ends up being to no mean, because bargaining really gets us nowhere, but it's one of the coping phase. They say, I will do anything. Psychologically, the individual is saying, I understand I will die, but if I could do something to buy more time, it's what usually that person is saying. And bargaining rarely provides a sustainable solution, because we know eventually that person or the loved one will die. I just told you about the third phase of grief. I'm going to tell you about the fourth stage of grief, which is depression. Depression kicks in. It may last from several months to probably several years. I'm sad. I have no reason to go on. My loved one is dying, or I am dying. I wish I'd go ahead and die right now. You have a lack of want to be around people. You don't want to communicate with others. Sometimes it hinders your care from the physician and the loved ones who's trying to take care of a person who is in this stage of depression. Like I say, it can't last 6 months or a year. It's dependent upon the individual and their religious belief as to where they can revive on through that stage of depression. It said during the fourth stage, the grieving person began to understand the certainty of death, that death is imminent. It's going to come. And they begin to see that nothing that they can do to prevent death, so they fall into this stage of depression. I told you about depression. Now I'm going to tell you about the fifth stage, of the grief process, which is acceptance. It's okay that I'm going to die. It's okay that my loved one is going to die. I accept this stage of grief. I'm preparing for my death. I'm leaving my will. Normally, they tell the family what they want upon their death. You tell your family how you expect them to behave and divide your belonging, who you want to have what. Are you preparing for this eternal death? Are you accepted it and you okay with it? And usually in the acceptance phase, the person that's dying usually helps the loved ones to cope and accept it. That they are in this dying process, and that's the way it is. And you get to sit down and you discuss a lot of things. A lot of people mend things that has kept them broken apart for many, many years. But now that they are dying, they decided that I need to make peace with my loved one and with God. And through this accepting phase, that is what is going on. I have just, in my conclusion, I just told you about the 5 stages of grief, which is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. We all go through these stages at different times in our life. At one time or another, we're going to go through these stages because we're going to have a loved one that is dying. It said when you experience the death of a loved one or family member, there are stages you all go through in order to process the loss that the person has left in your life. These 5 stages are completely natural and are a way for our hearts and mind to mend themselves before coming to terms with death. The 5 stages of grief, also known as the Kubler-Ross model, are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Thank you.